What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Christian Hanna here, and today, guys, I want to talk to you about a movie called Popcorn. Now, a little history about me with this movie, Popcorn. Popcorn is a movie that I've really been aware of for a very long time. I can remember seeing this movie on the video store shelves back in the day. I remember seeing this a grocery store rental section, believe it or not, when I was really little. But I never saw the movie. And then fast forward years later, I see, VHS collectors have copies of Popcorn. I see t-shirts of Popcorn. I look at horror rooms and I see, posters of Popcorn. And I finally recently said, I need to see the movie Popcorn. So I looked into this movie and I saw that Synapse Blu-rays did a release of this after what looked like this amazing fan, roundabout get-together to make this movie happen. So I was aware of the cult status of Popcorn, but I didn't know anything about the movie. So after I get this Blu-ray, I'm really excited to check it out. So the second I can, I pop on this movie, Popcorn, no pun intended. And I now know, in my opinion, why this movie has the status that it does and why I feel it is a very great cult horror fan favorite. I'll be simple on the plot because there's really not too much point diving into it, but basically you've got this girl who's having these really lucid, scary dreams, and she's part of this theater group, and they want to do this great one-night stand at this old theater that's getting ready to go, under construction and be demolished, and they want to do this great horror movie night with classic movies, making it 4D and having all these, when something's supposed to smell bad, they spray this fog into the theater. There's this giant praying mantis looking monster, and they actually make an animatronic that goes down into the theater. And this movie is so full of life. It has a pulsating heartbeat. The energy and the funness of this movie Popcorn. It has this really great feeling of a Nightmare on Elm Street sequel with its energy and just emotion and kind of a lighter shade of gray with the characters, specifically, like I said, with the sequels of A Nightmare on Elm Street, particularly maybe the 4s and 5s. And there's actually an alumni from Nightmare 5 in Popcorn. Now, Popcorn is a movie that takes place in 1991, I believe, and I was almost like, that's interesting, 91? But when you watch the movie, it screams that 80s style of filmmaking. And I remember a quote my dad told me one time when I was looking at pictures of him from the very early 90s. I said, Dad, you guys had mullets still and you guys were wearing, crazy colors and stuff right then? And my dad told me something I never forgot. He said, son, there's nothing more 80s than the really early 90s. And so that kind of stuck with me, and it seems to be very true in this movie right here, Popcorn. Popcorn was much more smarter, much more of a movie than I really anticipated it. Now, of course, this movie has the great practical effects. It's got great moments, but this movie was pre-Scream, but it seemed like Scream kind of used some elements that Popcorn had in this movie. And this movie was actually pretty clever. Popcorn was extremely fun. I have so much replay value with this movie, and I know now why it is a cult classic. Popcorn is the definition to me of a little movie that could, a group of people that just want to make something and make it as good as possible and going for it. And Popcorn does that. I definitely recommend getting your hands on this Blu-ray release of the movie Popcorn. I think it's getting harder to get your hands on, and it's getting pricey. So if you want it, go to Synapse, go to Amazon, go ahead and get it. The Steelbook's even more money, but I really think just getting this Blu-ray of it is good enough. The special features on this are absolutely fantastic. You learn everything you want to know about the movie Popcorn, and you're going to sit there for a while because there's a lot to take in. Now, as far as the picture quality goes on this Blu-ray as well, no complaints. This movie probably looks as good as it ever possibly can look. There are faces that you will recognize from other horror movies like Dee Wallace and, like I said, the girl from Nightmare 5, and you will have a blast with Popcorn. Please let me know if this video entices you to check out the movie Popcorn, or if you have seen it, what are your thoughts on it? I do think this movie deserves the cult status that it has. I cannot tell you how much fun of a movie Popcorn was, and I could throw it on at any time. Thank you guys for watching this video. This is Christian Hanna saying check out the movie Popcorn.